Good evening. It is Rachel getting prepared for this tribute. Yes, I'm getting prepared. I don't know. I'm kind of like speechless tonight after I spent just about all day looking at the funeral of Aretha, and I ain't even done looking at it. So I took bits and pieces from it to play tonight, along with some other interviews that I captured of her that I'd never seen before that will be playing in the background. So Facebook, I have no rights. I don't own any rights to this. It came from YouTube for the public to view, and I want people to listen to it while I honor Aretha this look. So I'm going to go ahead and invite people to keep me company, to pull me through this. Because I love Aretha even more, listening more about what she have done in our community and for society, for humanity, really. And amazing queen of soul. And I'm still learning more and more about her, and by doing more research of her and her family, and how she brings the true meaning of love to me. She represent that, and she represent how she was selfless, not selfish, selfless with her gift. It's a difference. There's a big difference, okay? So, please come in, keep me lifted up for me to do this. I have some other looks that I want to capture of her. I do. Let's see. Invite regular people. And share this with your group. They will enjoy it too. I hope. I'm going to try my best, y'all. So, I don't put eye drops in my eyes. They were a little red. We're crying. Yeah. But there was some powerful speeches. Some I couldn't because of the music, But you know what? Alright. Let me go ahead and play the background of her interview here, so y'all can hear some history. Those that are younger than me that did not know, you will hear this.
I'm Time Magazine correspondent Stephen Gray.
And I'm going to go ahead and get into the look.
Thank you.
I'll show y'all the look
You're
at
known for
the
singing
end.
some of the world's most famous
Okay.
songs. What's your favorite one?
I have a lot of favorites. I don't have any one favorite. I have a lot of favorites. Nessun Dorma, of course, Respect.
I'm going to go in here to the glam
From Sparkle.
check.
Some of my favorites.
What's kept you
Concealer.
so long?
I
Probably
like the
use
mentality in
this
the
one
city.
here.
That's what I like. The charters will come all out if they really feel like what you are standing behind has merit.
Why have you decided not to re-sign on a major record label?
52 years of recording for other people. I thought at this point it's time for you to record for yourself. So and that way there wouldn't be so many spoons in the soup. There would just be one Aretha spoon in the soup, and I'll take responsibility for it.
How has your limited flying hindered your career in recent years?
It's not hindered my career at all. Miss Franklin can get around.
Hey,
I
Debbie.
have been everywhere.
Thank you for keeping me company.
Everywhere except across the ocean. afforded my seeing the United States. When I was flying, I never saw the United States and what it really looked like.
And when's the last time you flew?
In 82. It's been a good little while, in 82. And I had such a bad flight. A two-engine plane, dipsy doodling up and down all the way home from Atlanta. I said, oh my God, when I get to Detroit, that's it. That is it. When I see Metropolitan Airport, that's it.
Who do you consider to be your musical heir?
I really don't think about anything like that. I mean, I haven't. I plan to be singing, so I just haven't thought about anything like that.
What was your most memorable collaboration and why?
I think George Benson
Let me know y'all can hear that.
was one of the best duos just because we were so beautifully musically matched. We were doing Solid Gold, you know how long ago that was. And he was giving me these eyes, you know. But I wasn't falling for it. I wasn't falling for it. I just stuck to the script when we did some really, really good singing.
How do you feel about artists covering your songs?
It's the most sincere form of flattery. It really is. In most instances, it is.
What's the best one you've heard?
I think some of the ones on American Idol, I've heard a lot of those. A lot of the ones on American Idol.
You broke so much new ground musically and culturally. At the time when you were there,
Please share with your group.
Not really, no, just doing my thing. That's it, just doing my thing.
you performed Listen Dorma when you filled in for Patronize at the Grammys a couple years back. Any interest in ever recording an album?
Oh, I do. I do have an Aria album that's coming up on Aretha's Records. These are the things that I'm going to record that I did not get a chance to record when I was with Aretha and Atlantic. All of the things that I didn't get a chance to record there, I'll be recording for my own record.
What is the best way to bring residents back to Detroit?
Create more jobs, to bring developers back to the city who will invest in the city, but particularly the jobs, because a lot of people have left Detroit, going south and various other places seeking employment. They just can't find it here.
So what is RESPECT mean to you?
I think I heard it nicely phrased earlier.
Hey,
today.
Patricia.
You want to give people dignity and respect, and you want to
Transforming myself to Aretha.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
The background is of her. Some segment is of the funeral. Some are interviews. Hey, Jeanette. Yeah. Hey, Tracy. You gonna share, Tracy? I've been crying today. Looking at the funeral.
God bless you, everybody. To the family, I just want to say
Thank you, love.
my prayer for you is that God will allow you to groove in ways, not that it will come crashing on you all at once like a tsunami, but in waves gently touching your soul. That's the only thing that got me through all this step. It will come
Taking care of my
so that I could
lashes.
move on.
He said I sure did shit. Oh, girl.
Because it's going to come. You can't work it away.
I wish I could sing, but I ain't gonna do that.
You gotta let it come.
You know what would happen.
Prayers that it comes
So I'm playing
to your soul.
the funeral.
That's what I've been praying for you.
I'm not done looking at it. It was like 10 hours.
The voice of Aretha Franklin. We would be driving up to the country, and she had, and I could tell what my father had done by the music she was playing.
Thank you.
If she was playing Respect or Fake, I knew he had done something wrong. But if she was playing Dr. Feelgood, he might have done something right. So you can imagine my shock. Some 30 years later, I get a phone call. This lady
So I'm using a concealer.
I said, "Who?" She said, I love Medea. I said, well, you know she's not real.
This is Tyler Perry
She said,
speaking at the funeral.
I said, tell her. She loved to laugh. She would invite me to things over the years, and we would sit and talk. She'd want me to come back in the dressing room, but I couldn't stay in there too long because in the dressing room she would have the heat somewhere between 85 and double hell. She loved it warm in there, but we talked over the years. When I found out she was ill, I called her up, and I was talking like Medea, making her laugh a little bit. And the last time that I saw her performance at the Kennedy Center Outlet that everybody's talking about, I was there. I was up in the box with President Obama. She comes out and she starts singing, and all of these upright, stiff politicians are all over the place. But when she sang, all of that went away. All that pomp and circumstance and pretension went away. She brought them all to their feet so they can bow to the Queen of Soul. It was a wonderful moment, and as I'm standing there and I'm applauding, President Obama's in front of me. He turns to me and said, "That's why she's the Queen of Soul." And I started thinking about that when I found out she was ill. The Queen of Soul, the soul, the soul, the Queen of Soul. What does that mean? Well, the soul is the spirit created by God which dwells in our flesh. So if she is the Queen of Soul, what happened was, and we know that she was the Queen of Soul, what happened was every time she sang from her soul. She sang from this special place that was in her soul, be it gospel, be it jazz, be it blues, be it R&B. It was always from her soul, whatever the music genre was. But when Aretha sang gospel, something happened. Something would shake the room. When Aretha sang Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. It never sounded any sweeter than it did coming from Aretha. When Aretha sang gospel, when she said, "Oh Mary, don't you weep, oh Martha, don't you moan," I believe that Mary went somewhere and dried her own eyes, and Martha went over and stopped moaning in the corner, because when Aretha sang gospel, what happened was she connected with the Creator, with the created. So there she was calling on the name of Jesus. When Aretha sang gospel, something shifted, something happened in the atmosphere. And what I'm glad about is that I had an opportunity to know this woman, to know that she had this power to stand in between all these different genres and touch us in all these different ways. I'm grateful to her. Family, my prayer for you, I want to be very brief because I know we've been here for a while. My prayer for you is that that the grief comes in waves and you can make your way through it. And I'm so grateful to God that Aretha walked this earth. I'm grateful to God that we had the fortune to be on this planet at the same time as Aretha Franklin. So God bless you. Thank you for asking me to be here. Thank you for this moment. I love y'all so much. Take care.
Hey, Rachel.
What's going on? James here, coming at you from the Bahamas.
Hello, Queen.
And one of the things that I was able to do over the last couple of years is generate millions of dollars online through a simple system that everybody is aware of. Just a few short years ago, my wife's family used to take me on vacation. I couldn't afford it. I was $60,000 in debt. I was looking for anything and everything. Multi-level marketing.
Pray. It's a celebration, but not a party. Aretha's not lost.
Okay.
We know where she is.
How you doing?
Be in the mood of prayer.
Jesse
Thanksgiving.
Jackson.
God has blessed us to witness a powerful expression of his witness today. Aretha was on this battleground for 60 years. Bow heads in prayer.
Okay.
Accept our petition, dear God. Search our hearts, you know our ways. Make us better, never bitter. Move fit for the journey. Thank you for Reverend C.L. Franklin. Thank you for Rita, Irma, Carolyn, and Cecil. Bringing them my way.
It's okay. Thank you.
Enjoy
Share
their
it.
gifts,
Keep you
lessons they've
company.
learned, and lessons they've shared.
I get a little nervous.
Somehow let us leave this place today.
Ooh, jeez. Okay.
Better off than when we came.
Focus.
We fall down, we get back up again. Because the ground is no place for champions, and so we rise to higher heights. Amen.
This is a different kind of makeup.
I was asked by the family to give some personal
This one she kind of went glam.
reflections.
I'm using
almost 60 years.
3-in-1 Flawless by CoverGirl Queen Collection.
Sabrina to
Got
stand
the
again.
powder,
At least
concealer, and all that inside.
months of decline
to the
and going
bottom.
down the hill. The one who put all this stuff together has
Lorenzo.
been Sabrina. Give Sabrina a big hand, would you please? I visited her at least once a month, and every time I was there, Eddie would be by the door as a bodyguard. He was just Eddie, stand again. Give him a big hand. Cousin Brenda, son Brenda, just singing, Sam. Early, give another big hand. There's no one's been more consistent than Will. Give Will a big hand. Give Will. Will has been standing. Will. He's been a trooper. I also want to, in the pastoral sense, thank the funeral home. Aretha was very sick to the end. I was suspect that we should not open the body. But this funeral home, the Swanson, they've done a tremendous job. A big hand for O'Neill Swanson and his family. Big hand for O'Neill Swanson and his family. Last, we can't thank her too much for she's among the living yet among us. Another hand for Maxine Waters. Maxine, stand again, please. Three of my children are here today because this is a family affair. My son, Jesse Jackson Jr., and Santita, and Dr. Jackie Jackson. It is a holy privilege to stand before you today. Painful to stand before Aretha, this hour of celebration.
Hey, Sam.
I want to honor the family's wishes and protocol and keep my remarks as brief as I can, but it is about reflections, and I want to give the room for Reverend Jasper Williams, one of the most profound preachers of our time. Reverend C.L. Franklin's funeral was conducted by Reverend Williams, and he maintains that authority in the family. Let's move to the next phase of the phenomenal Aretha Franklin. There's much to be said and done built on this legacy that can't be appropriately said today. Death has caused another unplanned family reunion. We wouldn't be here if Aretha were not dead today. We give death too much power. We should be able to call each other and have a meeting like this and share. I was here for the Rosa Parks funeral. I watched long lines at the museum for Rosa Parks, long lines for Aretha, long lines today. We have long lines to celebrate death and short lines for voting.
Okay, I forgot some green lips.
We lost Michigan by 11,000 votes. 100,000 Detroit unregistered. Long lines at the death of the icons and short lines for voting. Something is missing. To many of us from the Deep South, before internet and before the nightly TV shows, before Dr. King and Rosa Parks, that was Jet Magazine, National Black Newspapers, and WLAC Nashville, Tennessee. Every Sunday night at 11 o'clock, Big Horse Allen from Nashville would put on an hour of C.L. Franklin. He was our hero. Traditional sermons, Eagle Serves the Nest, Prodigal Son, In the Conflict. He said, tonight I'm not going to preach, I'm going to introduce my daughter and she can sing. It's not just my daughter, my daddy, she can really sing, so hear me. And really sing, never grow. Reverend Billy Kyles, whose home Dr. King was on the way to visit when he was killed, was on a revival in New Bethel at that time. He gave the words to Aretha. The herds of a land on the faraway strand, there's a beautiful home of the soul. Build this Jesus on the high where we never shall die, a land where we'll never grow. It was a dark Sunday night in South Carolina, yet when it's real dark, the stars shine most clearly. That night a star was born. Somewhere between Nashville and eternity, we heard a voice from heaven, 14 years old. Aretha was our queen. She belonged and belongs to us. She's blessed to have the powerful gift of singing, perhaps the most remarkable voice, unique the world has ever heard. Arturo Toscanini, the Italian conductor, said of Marian Anderson that a voice like Mary is heard once in 1,000 years. Aretha's in that zone of once in 1,000 years. And she did not shy away from Ave Maria. From that point on, she only required to be called Aretha. Reverend Franklin went to school and she took music lessons, cultivated in the warmth, in the womb of most soulful singers of our time. New Bethel, Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrers, Clara Ward and the Ward Singers, Mavis and Pop Staples. These are her. She came out of that womb. Lou Rawls and the Pilgrim Travelers, Madam Moss Clark.
Hey, Willie.
Ira Tucker and the Dixie Hummingbirds. Alex Bradford, Too Close. Sister Houston, Whitney's mother, sang in the background. The Winans and Reverend Craig, the Gospel Harmonettes, Mahalia Jackson, Dinah Washington, the Canton Spirituals, the Mighty Clouds of Joy, and Joe Ligon. Reverend James Cleveland directed the choir at New Bethel. Really came out of this womb, Reverend Gaither and Reverend Claire, and she had the gifts, but she had an environment that loaned itself to her development. She was baptized in singing, struggle, and service. In 1942, when she was born, not in Detroit, she was born on the Mississippi River in Memphis, Tennessee. The river that carried our people up and down for 246 years. Where does Aretha's soul come from? The Mississippi River. And it's cradled between Tennessee and Arkansas, Mississippi. 233 blacks were lynched in Tennessee. 492 in Arkansas. 654 in Mississippi. She was 13 when Emmett Till was lynched. Where does her civil rights commitment come in? She had money and could not buy ice cream. Had a car and could not stop to buy gasoline. Aretha came out of the bowels of our struggle. Her father led the big march in Detroit in 1963. Led the groundwork for Dr. King, who stayed at his home until March on Washington. Along with Harry Belafonte, Dr. King was facing bankruptcy. We couldn't go any further. Where's the money coming from? Couldn't be from the banks. Black banks were too small. The white banks were very hostile. And so Aretha and Harry Belafonte said, we're taking 11 city tour. Raise money and give you the money. But Dr. King was so unpopular, it was under such attack. We couldn't fill up an auditorium this size with Aretha Franklin and Harry Belafonte. We stepped on the stage in Houston, Texas. On that stage, they put tear gas in the fan where they evacuated the building. She kept right on singing. She sang for Carter, Mandela, Clinton, Obama. But she felt as comfortable singing for Albertina Walker. Because after all, before we had this level of technology, there was Albertina Walker and Shirley Caesar and Cassandra George in the same group called the Caravans. I was called last week to see Aretha. I've met with her at least a month for the last 3 years. She called me tonight. Jackie would say, "Get the phone." Aretha's on the phones. We're talking 2 to 5. We pray a while and cry a while. When I came last Wednesday, Aretha was in a coma and had not been able to wake up or move in some days. And I was with Earlene, and I said, "Reed, wake up, baby, wake up, baby." She opened her eyes. I rubbed the warmth of her hand one more time, kissed them so and said it was a hard goodbye. We came back that night with Sabrina and had another prayer meeting with her. Her father's records were playing in the background. I thought as I left the last time, Shakespeare said, when she shall die, take her hand and cut it up in little stars, and she will make the heavens so fine that all the world will be in love with night. Aretha had the power to make the film directors cry. She touched all of us in a very deep and profound kind of way. As she got sicker, we would talk more and more. She would call late at night, and, "Are you coming?" I said, "Yes, I'm going to bring Greg, and I'm not going to bring Greg, and I'll bring Bob and Greg." Inside joke. Went to 4 or 5 hospitals, and she was fighting this cancer thing. And to cap off singing in service, she went to New York knowing that she had pancreatic cancer. She went there, bus to help Elton John and the AIDS victims. That's a signature moment in her life. All of her times have been spent seeing on her own situation. And yet she was there. She asked me to give her our favorite testimony. Was that when I was a kid growing up in South Carolina, and I wonder why she would always talk about saying never grow, never grow, never grow. Archie Brownlee, a great singer for the blind boys.
Oh yeah.
Sang "Oh Why." Archie came on his last trip and said, "I'm drinking liquor tonight. I'm not an alcoholic. But I have the 4th stage of cancer. And I don't have any insurance. Liquor is anesthesia for my pain. So y'all forgive me for drinking." Well, in the disrespect, he had his dog shades on his tap. He said, "Let me sing a couple of songs for you." He said, "I know you're concerned I'm drinking. I'm not a drunkard. I'm just drinking for pain." He said, "But y'all talk about blue skies. I was born without eyes. I've never seen a blue. Red rose. I've never seen a rose. I can touch it. My wife is beautiful. I've never seen my wife's face. I know about the contour of her face. And my children I know them by the sound of the voice and the pat of their feet. But don't feel sorry for me because I'm blind, have cancer. I am going across the river. I heard there's a man over there
Thank you for tuning
giving
in.
sight to the blind. He's curing cancer. When you hit that point in your life, where the man is more over there than over here. A few months ago, Aretha was very afraid for me when it announced that I had Parkinson's. The older you get, these diseases, they come out of nowhere, it seems. But let me say to you today, who are the living, this is not for Aretha, this is for us. If you leave here today and don't register to vote, you dishonor Aretha. You've heard all this singing, don't feel something wrong with you. I can only say now, we met for 15 years old. I'm now 77. We're 78 in a few weeks. Parkinson's is in trouble. I have the faith. The doctor said Parkinson's will knock you down. It will, but there's a God through the doctor of doctors. Don't fear these diseases when you're getting ready to change your clothes and move into a different transition. I can say now with a level of certainty I couldn't have years ago. I once was young. I've traveled to China, I've traveled to Japan, I've traveled to the Caribbean, all around the world. Worked with Dr. King, worked with Mandela. I've seen a lot and been a lot of places, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor the seed beg for bread. Just sleep on, Aretha. See you in the morning.
Y'all. Woo. Deep, deep. Okay. Next person be speaking will be Bill Clinton. I'm trying to get the eyes right, so I'm trying to see what color she's using. Closest I can get from my palette. Okay. Now I need to get underneath my eye.
She lived with courage.
This is Bill Clinton.
Not without fear, but overcoming her fears. She lived with faith, not without failure, but overcoming her failures. She lived with power, not without weakness, but overcoming her weaknesses. I just love her. For all the wonderful things Aretha did for me, all the great events she appeared at, my most enduring memory of her was almost happenstance, where I was there in what turned out to be the last public singing she ever did. At Elton John's aid benefit last year, sure enough, she heard I was there and she summoned me back. And she's sitting there, I mean, obviously desperately ill. Gone. She stood right up and said, "How you doing, baby?" I said, "Well, I'm doing better now." And she said, She said, well, look at me. I finally got thin again. It took a lot of guts to say that. And then she went out into this setting. And all these people who loved her and were awestruck and said, can you believe she showed up? And she sang not one song, not two songs, not three songs. She had to bring a chair out, and she sang for 45 straight minutes. She worked her candles to get where she was. She took the gifts God gave her, and she kept getting a little bigger every day. So
Bill didn't do that. Bill went on his cell phone to get
it's the key to freedom. God bless you, Aretha. We love you.
That was cute.
You need a logo. Why not make it today? With Taylor
Woo!
Brands, you can create a professional logo within minutes and get artificial intelligence to give you a
Crack.
design for free and purchase only
Next
if you
one
like.
is
Please receive Reverend Al Sharpton.
let's see.
Thank you, Bishop, to the Franklin family, and to all of us gathered. Aretha
Trying to make
Franklin was
this
not
color.
only an unparalleled artist, she was a civil rights activist and freedom fighter. It is easy to celebrate the gifts that God gives. It is more difficult when someone uses those gifts in ways that enhances humanity.
I know what I'm
Aretha
gonna
Franklin
highlight right there.
was given special
Do that
gifts,
with that.
but she used it in a special way. And she would not want us to celebrate her without talking about she stood for
All right,
something.
now I'm gonna.
She never shamed us. She never disgraced us. She never made us make excuses for her. She represented the best in our community, and she fought for our community until the end.
I put eyelashes on.
I first met Miss Franklin when I was a teenager. I'd become youth director of New York Operation Breadbasket. She would come to the strategy meeting with Reverend Jackson.
Let's see.
And I would hear the stories of how when Dr. Martin Luther King couldn't make payroll, Harry Belafonte and Aretha Franklin went on an 11-city tour to raise money for Martin Luther King. A lot of artists hang up Dr. King's photo, but Aretha went and raised money and gave it and worked free. Her daddy marched with Dr. King, and she never stopped supporting. As the years went by and I developed National Action Network, and she would call my radio show and have me come to her affairs. She called me one day. She said, Mal, I want to send you something. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, what's your home address? And she said it. About 3 days later, I got a check made out National Action Network signed by Aretha Franklin. I saw about a month later, I said, you know, I was so blown away. I grew up looking up to you that I framed that check. She said, boy, don't you have a copy machine? She said, you don't know how I am with my bank accounts. You better cash that check and...
All right, let me try to put
But
these lashes on.
all of her life, she supported the causes She was a feminist before feminism was popular. She was a civil rights activist when it wasn't popular. She gave us pride, and she gave us.
Aretha did her eyes a little different. Hey,
That's
Ricky.
why we're all here. We don't all agree on everything.
Welcome to the page.
But we agree on Aretha. And she fought for everybody. I remember when we were used to picket, Charles Williams and all of us jumping on the record industry, she said, now y'all leave Clive Davis alone. He's one of the good ones. She loved Clive and said, we got to remember what happened to the Irish and what happened to Jews and what happened to blacks. And that is why we remember her legacy, because she sang a song for all of us. She was the soundtrack of the civil rights movement.
Oh, she has some
lashes. If you track
lashes.
where we are, you can follow where Aretha had us. That's why when I look at her and James Brown's daughters here and others who paid a price, that opened the door, but never forgot where they came from. She was rooted in the black church. She was bathed in the black church. And she took the black church downtown and made folks that didn't know what the Holy Ghost was shout in the middle of a concert. You never saw her perform without her doing gospel, because she never was a one to forget where she came from. And that's why we give her this great homegoing. We thank her for what she did with Dr. King. We thank her for what she's done with Reverend Jackson. We thank her for what she's done with all of us. And that is why, you know, the other Sunday on my show, I misspelled respect. And a lot of y'all corrected me. Now I want y'all to help me correct President Trump to teach him what it means. And I say that because when word had went out that Miss Franklin passed, Trump said she used to work for me. No, she used to perform for you. She worked for us. Aretha never took orders from nobody but God.
Okay.
So Aretha, as you get your rest, my mother passed about 6 years ago. President Clinton, my mother and I had a deal. She said, I'll meet you on the other side. You live the way you're supposed to, and I'll see you in heaven. I said, well, Ma, they tell me there is no bodies in heaven, just spirits. How am I going to know you? I know her sons are. How will I know it? She said, I'll tell you, you meet me at the exchange counter. I said, exchange counter? What kind of exchange counter? She said, well, right after you get through the Golden Gates, there's an exchange counter. That's where you hand in your cross to pick up your crown. We watched Aretha bear her cross down here. She had to sing with a broken heart. She had to work when she didn't get paid. She was a black woman in a white man's world.
What it got to do
she
for
bared
the
her
community.
cross.
That's
She
true
fought a
artist.
good fight.
Yes.
Now it's time to crown the queen. I'll see you at the exchange counter where you can now hand in your cross. Ain't no cats over there, Aretha. Hand in your cross and pick up your crown. As I take my seat, I've been asked to read this
Dry.
Don't do that. I only have 5 minutes and y'all will make me go on to something else. Dear friends and family of Aretha, Michelle and I extend our heartfelt sympathies to all of those who gathered in Detroit. And we join you in remembering and celebrating the life of the Queen of Soul. From a young age, Aretha Franklin rocked the world of anyone who had the pleasure of hearing her voice, whether bringing people together through thrilling intersections of genres or advancing important causes through the power of song. Aretha's work reflected the very best of the American story, in all of its hope and heart, its boldness, and its unmistakable beauty. In the example she set both as an artist and a citizen, Aretha embodied those most revered virtues of forgiveness and reconciliation, while the music she made captured some of our deepest human desires, namely affection and respect. And through her voice, her own voice, Aretha lifted those of millions, empowering and inspiring the vulnerable, the downtrodden, and everyone who may have just needed a little love. Aretha truly was one of a kind, and as you pay tribute, know we'll be saying a little prayer for you, and we'll be thinking of all of Aretha's loved ones in the days and weeks to come. Sincerely, Barack Obama, 44th President of the United States.
This eyelash ain't working. There we go.
Let's see, what else? I had a beautiful invitation to come to the Metropolitan Opera, and for the opening season, I think, what is her name? Wonderful singer. Just can't think of her name right now. But unfortunately, I'm going to miss that. I won't be able to hear her.
She's been interviewed.
Have you thought about writing a book?
A book, yes. I had my memoirs about 10 years ago, and I'm just going to pick up where I left off and do a continuation of my memoirs.
That's probably your publisher.
I don't know if I want to do this part or draw it in. I think I draw it in.
This is on the Christmas album. This is how it starts.
Oh, are we going to get a concert?
Okay.
We got music.
Let's see. I can do this.
That's wonderful. That's a great ring.
Okay. What's her name? She's a great singer.
Let's see if I can do this.
She sings a lot on the Kennedy Center.
I think I better do the highlight and stuff first.
Can't think of her name.
I'll do the lashes last.
I really wanted to hear that.
Mm-hmm. And you're gonna. When is your memoir part 2 gonna be published?
Part 2. It's we'll start probably in February.
Alrighty.
And so I think by
Put
September
these lashes up
be
here.
ready for market.
That's fantastic. How about acting? We all know you from the Blues
I'm
Brothers.
crying already.
You've been in quite a number of other films and TV shows.
Pray that I don't cry. I get sensitive during a funeral. Crying all day, listening. Trying to choose what to put up here today.
Pardon me.
What would you like to do?
Maybe I like the dramatic comedy. Maybe some things like Doris Day.
I can't wait either.
Like that kind of thing, or it could be.
I've been nervous.
Could be that.
It's a challenge, but I like challenges.
Really good.
How about stage, Broadway?
Broadway. I would love to do Broadway.
All
And
right,
I've had
let's
many
see.
offers to do Broadway, but
And get my Q-tip. Keep that Q-tip on this
their
eye.
scheduling and how I work are just not
Sensitive.
compatible. We're just not. So if you ever see me on Broadway, you will know
All right.
that a new standard has
All
been
right,
set.
Anita.
Okay.
And what about, I mean, you're great on stage and great in film, and you've done Blues Brothers now, and you, I mean, so musicals, that's kind of where you want to stay, in the musical genre. You want to do something singing, not any dramatic acting.
I do. I don't want to play myself. I like to play a character. Yeah.
Now, tell me about your personality, off stage and out of the limelight. Are you kind of reserved, quiet? Are you a perfectionist?
Is this a jigsaw puzzle or what?
We're trying to put
Yeah,
together
I
Aretha
know. What's
Franklin.
really going on here? Do you have the puzzle? Is the puzzle coming together here? Okay.
I want to know more about you.
Yeah,
Our
like my
listeners
nose
want-
like
you know,
that.
it's not often we get a chance
There's not a
to.
lot left to know. There's not a lot left to know.
No. Well, you seem like such a down-to-earth person who, you know, I mean, to have established what you've established, and you're so friendly, warm, and approachable. I think, you know, the diva. When I hear that word diva, when you hear the word diva, what comes to your mind?
Diva. One who is very grand. One who has major credentials. Who has sometimes been called difficult. That kind of thing.
Oh, cry, baby.
I think prima donna, that kind of thing. I suppose I could be that, but only when one is being unfair to me, and then I could do another number. But I prefer just to be who I am and just do my thing, and like as I said, not become a star.
Okay. Well, you're a very sweet person. I can tell.
Nostrils down.
And I'm just curious, the shows, when people come to see Aretha Franklin in concert with the orchestra, what kind of things, you're not going to dance ballet, but what are the kinds of things
Would
you
you
need
like to see me do a pirouette?
I would love to see it.
Okay. In l'air? Okay.
What's the show? Is it
The
an
show,
hour,
the
2
concert, I'm
hours?
doing all of the hits,
Mhm.
doing some new things, some things that,
Well,
pardon me, have been at the top of the charts. Little Touch My Body, Mariah. The Christmas things, a lot of things from the new Christmas album. I'm doing lots of surprises. Try to have a little something for everybody, but always the hits.
I got an email from a listener in Germany,
Mm.
and they want to know who's zooming who? What's zooming in Aretha Franklin's movie?
Who's zooming who?
Who's zooming who? What's zooming mean?
Well, right now, I don't know anybody who's zooming anybody. But, not
See,
lately,
funny.
anyway. But there's a few folks out there that are still fooling them, though.
Oh, you're funny. I love your music. I love you. You're great.
Thank you.
And I know that you're
make
Whitney
that
Houston's godmother.
temptation.
So what's,
She
what can you
has
tell us
that.
about her new album? What's going on with that?
Well, right now, everything is on the QT. I just can't
Can't
talk
tell me.
about it.
Can't tell me
talk
anything.
about it.
Not even a little secret, just between you and I.
Yeah,
No one else.
when we go off the air.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you something. When we go off.
What's the next album for Aretha Franklin?
The next
After
album
Christmas.
would be Aretha, A Woman Falling Out of Love, coming out in the spring.
What's that album going to be about?
And it's just a number of different things. Some that I wrote, some that my son wrote, some that were written by two really very, very good writers. I'm trying to think of their names right now because it's been a good little while since I addressed that album. And it's kind of been on the back burner. Troy Taylor, and he's terrific. He's just absolutely terrific as a writer and producer.
Who else do you like now these days in music? When you listen to
I love Neo. I love the way he writes, and I like music. Soul Child. I love the way he writes. Great writers and producers as well. see who else do I like. Coffee has done some things that I like. I like the beat on Ludacris. The beat.
Mm.
I like the beat.
Right, right.
Okay. I'm not speaking of the lyrics. I'm just talking about the beat, rhythm, and all of that.
Kanye.
Hey, Stephanie.
Yeah, okay. And excuse me. Who else do you like?
I had Estelle on the show, and she was telling me that she takes offense to people like Amy Winehouse being called R&B.
Okay, I wouldn't say Amy Winehouse is R&B. I wouldn't say that. Her band is. Her backup group is. They get down, down, down. I mean, they get down. I love the group and these moves and everything they got. They got some cold-blooded moves.
Okay,
But I wouldn't say she's R&B.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so...
Excuse me.
No, you have influenced so many people and touched so many different lives in so many different ways, and I counted over 40 albums. That's what I counted, and that was all that was listed, but there are more albums than that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, as an artist who's always coming up with ideas, always trying to reinvent yourself, always coming up with ways to put something new out and different, that must be, I mean, one of the biggest challenges you face. What are the biggest challenges for you?
Biggest challenges for me is trying to figure out what to cook for dinner nightly, just night after night. What is it going to be tonight?
You don't actually cook your own dinner, do you?
Oh, please. I do my own washing, my own cooking, my own ironing, all of that.
No.
Yeah. So,
see, now there's something nobody would know.
You have to figure, what is it going to be tonight? I did that last night. That's the hardest thing right there.
Wow. And your kids, do you spend a lot of time with the kids? Because I know, having grown up with Teddy, he told me that you were always busy. You were always on the road.
Not always, no. Half the time. Half the time. I always, I made a point of being at home half the time and in concert half the time. And I thought that worked very well for our family.
That's great. Well, that's wonderful. You put your family,
Oh, definitely.
And so, next step for you after this, you've got the new album coming out in the spring, and then beyond that, some flight, international touring.
Yes, I'm waiting for a first draft of the autobiography for the movies. I've met with producers, and I spent 2 or 3 days just talking to them. So I'm waiting for the first draft just to see what we have, and hopefully by that time I will know who's going to play me.
And a career highlight. What's your career highlight been so far?
My career highlight has been, I think, the Congressional Medal of Honor, along with my Grammys.
Unbelievable. I mean, all the achievements and accolades, a result of your hard work and all your tremendous accomplishments. And you've given us so many great song hits and a lot of songs that I'm sure the world will not know that were taken off albums that came out.
Trying to change my face.
We'll all be lucky.
Am I changing? Somebody talk to me. Hi, Barbara.
Thought, I knew you were waiting. I didn't think that song was going to be it, but there was a huge surprise.
That was fabulous. George came to Detroit, and we had a really cool time on the set.
Make my bottle look bigger.
Yeah, my sister just fell head over heels in love with him.
Let's see.
Yeah. Real cool guy.
Do you have a favorite song in your collection?
All of them are my favorites. They're all my favorites. I don't have any one favorite.
Naturally.
They're all my favorites.
Unbelievable. What a catalog. What a great list of songs. And we're so lucky and honored to have King Soul here at the Voice of America in D.C.
Once again.
What a pleasure it's been to speak to you, to meet you, the actual person behind the legend. I mean, I've obviously been trying for so long to get an interview with you, through your son, through any means I could, bribery, whatever. And it's an honor to meet you in person.
Thank you so much.
And to have an opportunity to have you.
My pleasure to be with you this afternoon. The Voice of America. I've always heard so much about it, and now here I am.
For both of us.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give you a chance to say hi to the troops.
Okay.
As well, who are tuned in and watching right now, listening.
Over my lip.
And you can say,
hi, guys. Take care of yourselves. we appreciate, and
To make my
certainly I
lips
don't
bigger.
speak for everyone, but I do speak for myself, family, and all of those that I know who really do appreciate the giving of yourselves in the way that you have to go and be there for your country. Just stay well, trust in God. Everything will turn out all right. Try God.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this Christmas, Aretha.
Hey,
Get the
Sam.
album.
Yes, pick up the album and Borders Books exclusively or Walden's Books. It's called This Christmas, and it's my new Christmas album.
And you're listening to the Voice of America and watching VOA Television, and thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, can I get a couple IDs?
Sure thing.
Thank you so much for doing it, and you guys for being so patient.
Okay.
If you could just look at the camera,
Hey,
you're watching
babe.
the Voice of America. I'm you're watching.
Somebody can come talk to me.
Hello, I'm Aretha Franklin, and you're watching
Appreciate
The Voice
you.
of America.
Perfect. And one that you're listening to American Gold. This is for radio. You're listening to American
What is it, mineral powder?
Hi, I'm Aretha Franklin, and you're listening to American
I
Gold.
need heart. Okay, next is gonna be Oprah and Aretha.
1964. We'll be back in a moment. 64.
Alright, I'm trying to do this before all my interviews are over.
To see the world, such a long world. There is a sea. We're after that same rainbows in, waiting round the bend. Mark up every friend, moon,
The close I can get. I don't own that. That's part of the interview Facebook, okay? Shall I do this? Okay. Hey, Sam. Hey, good girlfriend. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. This is my second Aretha look that I'm attempting to do without crying. Can you tell? I've been crying looking at the funeral all day. I haven't seen all of it. I only picked certain spots, so y'all got to rewind it to see the beginning, to hear if you haven't seen. You love the hair. Girl, you know what I do with them wigs. I fix them up, and I try to fix this to look like, but I got to do something to it when I'm done. This is so you. This wig is. What you trying to say? You want it? We have to trade. Okay, now let me get. Sweat. All right, I need some.
I can imagine for the other women to be up on the stage with you. But you feel like what? We had a good time. We had a good time.
What was I got to do?
Really? Yeah. It was a great night. And you feel like, okay.
Yeah, she said, yeah.
Voices up here.
You funny. Funny, darling.
There's voices up here. That's what we are. We were talking before about would you get married again? What kind of man would it take to handle you now? Well, does he exist? Oh, of course. He does exist. Of course. Okay. Yeah.
I'm thinning my face by contouring the rest of my face down.
Are you dating anyone you might want to tell us about? Yeah. No. Yes and no. No, not really. So the guys wouldn't have to be, you know,
Is that my hair, or did I mark my?
And I'm sure that you and I could really compare notes as far as that kind of thing is concerned. It's very hard sometimes for men to be with
women of celebrity. They become Mr. Franklin, they'll become Mr. Winfrey, Mr. Warwick, Mr. whoever, Mr. Ross. You know, it's really not fair.
She's done to me.
Especially when people know their
What's I saying?
you know, right. Yes, so it's really
Y'all.
hard on some men, and then a lot of men don't want to go through the celebrity thing, the lights, camera, action kind of thing. It's disconcerting to them.
Yeah.
It's just
That's how my honey is. He like being behind the scenes.
to that.
He's like that.
You've had that several times in your life. Also, you know, you mentioned
Okay,
you
now.
have very strong.
I'm almost there. I'm getting the tiny stuff done.
Not know
And this hair is coming off this wig.
Dennis Edwards, the other temptation.
Messing with me.
But that's the whole dating.
Okay, now. Blush. Oh, what blush? It look like it's this color.
How did you keep that a secret?
Already
Was it
got
a secret?
cheeks.
They didn't know, obviously. Well, actually, it really was not that heavy. You know, it wasn't that heavy. I liked him a lot.
But is it the daydreaming song?
You like me? Yeah, well, I got a song about him. Yeah, I did write that with him in mind. Yeah.
Now, when you were singing, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, who were you singing that about?
Who was I singing that about? Let's see. Natural Woman. I was just singing the song. It wasn't about anyone.
Now, every time you've heard us sing, like back in the day, when you sing it, I just knew it was somebody making me feel so natural woman.
Don't forget.
No, as close as we would come to that would be Wolf. And yes, and what he
Go down this way.
contributed to me personally.
Cheeks are different than mine.
And its fruition came to be yourself, be a natural woman. I stopped the eyebrow pencil, stopped plucking the eyebrows. I had that huge freedom to grow. Yeah, you know, just doing my thing.
Okay, when we come back, Aretha is going to sing for us again.
Her cheeks are not like my cheeks, so I got to tone my cheeks down.
Unbelievable outfits you one of yours. You say that you want to design or have a clothing line. I would love to. But most the clothes that you're wearing here, most women could not actually wear.
They're not fancy. I can design for the well-dressed woman. We'll be right back.
All right. All right, now I got the. My baby funny. Hey, cuz, you came in whole time. She got a square forehead. I gotta pretend that I have a square forehead. You know, I didn't know she did a lot of jingles. Oh. Yeah, I got to turn down that. Anyway. Try to make a square forehead. You know, faking it.
Has worked closely with her siblings over the years, and today, one of her backup singers is her sister Irma. Hi, Irma. Hi. How you doing? So all these years, people say, "Oh, you're Aretha Franklin's sister." Yes. Yeah. And that wears well with you. That wears well.
They say this is Miss Irma.
Oh, okay. Aretha is her own woman. Aretha is now going to sing a medley of songs that she says honors her father.
Okay, y'all. So
as a pastor, we're thrilled about that. We're coming full
I'm
circle.
gonna have to
Actually, this anniversary
skip
one year
this
as children,
part.
as small children, and we wanted to do it today.
because he's been tremendous in
and go here.
for the Queen's voice, so that she doesn't get.
I'm trying to. What the heck was I doing?
Shots of the audience and the people are fanning like this.
Nostril.
That's why. In Aretha's new book,
Alright, so what I'm doing now is changing the form of my
makeup, all that, you're gorgeous there. I was just saying, you keep reinventing yourself. Like anytime a tape comes up or you look at a picture, the new hairdo, and you don't even know yourself what you're gonna look like, do you? Listen, as many new
Alright, I need a highlight. That's what I need next. Which one? I'm gonna go in the glam chick. This is highlight 5 below.
Cooking. You cook
if I can open it.
Because I
Comes out of here. I try this
food is good
with my hand.
And so is banana pudding one of your favorites? Sometimes, yeah, it depends. If my weight is not too bad, then I'll indulge myself. But for the most part, you like what? Do you like dressings? For the most part, I like everything that's fatty. All right. Well, let's get to it. Including men. Yes. And she's already said now that he's out there somewhere. I meant to ask. I don't want to get in your business now. Yeah. Too much. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But, like, is there a special somewhere now? You don't have to name it. Very interesting, right off the top. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yes? Yeah. Yeah. There is. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, I just want to know. And you do romantic things with him? Like, do you sing to him?
Cause she always have been.
No. Okay. When you're doing other things, is your music on in the background or someone else's? What other things? What other things? Oh, yeah. Let's make banana pudding now. Yummy banana pudding. Yummy banana pudding. Yeah. So how do we do this? Let's see. Okay, you gotta have banana pudding. Where are the bananas? Oh, here they are. Okay. Well, now y'all know how to make it. What I need. Actually,
okay.
This, if you had the banana in your hand and you were slicing widthwise across the top, you would do alternate layers of bananas and wafers. Wafers, right? Yeah. Okay. I never made one. And this is banana pudding. Naturally, it would be nice and hot. And that is what, box of Jello vanilla. Yes, it's So this Jello is box of Jello. This is banana. Okay. I wish they was hot. Okay. And then you want me to throw these in here? Yeah, put some more wafers.
Oprah cook like I do. She just threw the stuff in the bowl.
Quick. Yeah, that's good.
She said,
And then you do another banana.
Threw it in the bowl.
Yeah, right. Then you do another layer of bananas. Yeah. And then another layer of that. Oprah, you can put out the house.
That's me.
Really good. I'm good at eating it. I've never made it. I had no idea that. New digs. Yeah. Do you let other people in the kitchen?
Bling bling.
Of course. You do? I'll be scared of coming in with you. Why? Because I think if I didn't do it right, you might hurt me. Oh. No, just hit you over the head with the. Oh boy. The rolling pin. No. Do I come off that way? No. Well, I wouldn't mess with your kitchen. Stay out of your kitchen. Okay, there's a finished one under the counter. Okay, yeah, I like that part. That's pretty much it. How many of you are cooking women in here? Oh, so God bless you. There you go. You can put a little meringue on top. A little meringue on top, and here's what it would look like in
Hey, cousin.
the finish. And cooking men.
Thank you for coming to visit me.
Here comes yours. We'll be back with Aretha Franklin in just a moment. Back in a moment.
Okay, I gotta do the bottom part of the eye. Woo, Jesus. Okay, this is, I don't know if I should do the eyelashes or paint this in.
Or just really getting better.
She got eyelashes underneath the eye. Down the bottom. Should I do lashes or draw the lashes in? What y'all think?
And so, do you want to keep on singing? You want to keep on doing more CDs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And sing and sing and sing and sing and sing.
And sing and sing. And
Yeah.
as she's
Talk
going
to me,
do
talk
now,
to
Aretha
me.
talks quite a bit about her connection to the church, how powerful her father's services
Y'all ain't
were,
saying it.
and how her roots, from these roots is the name of her book.
All right,
in
y'all gonna
gospel
make me
music.
do
So
it. Y'all gonna
for
make me do
today's
it.
Remembering Your Spirit segment, we asked Queen Aretha to grace us with one of her favorite gospel songs. Here's
Oh, can't
We
do that.
Need Power. Yes, we need.
All right, we're gonna go here. Gotta cut that off. Sorry, cut that short. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. All right, so I pre-cut some eyelashes. So I'm gonna put this under my eyes.
YouTube is great for people that are just starting a new business or small business owners.
Let's see if I can do this.
Video can show people what it's made out of, how to put it on, how easy it is.
Probably it's not the same kind.
As you see that business is growing, you can always
Let's
add
see
on
if it will work.
doubled almost every year since we started. I think a lot of dogs are a lot happier right now.
Okay. That.
Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, has been in the news quite a bit recently about everything.
This is Wendy.
Who would get the coveted role to play her in the movie version of her life, and many more things. Well, Miss Franklin invited me to her hometown of Detroit for afternoon tea. And we had so much fun talking and drinking tea and talking. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation.
This
But
will
we
work.
laughed, we cried, and then we even danced a little bit. And then we parted ways. So pull up a seat and take a look at part one.
Can you hear this? Cause oops. Okay, time to go right here. Forgot about that.
You look good.
Alright, let's see if this will work.
I think the ride's
I'll do my mirror.
Sure. How did you get here? Did you drive yourself to the Cadillac? I did not come
I didn't come in the pink Cadillac today. I came in a black limousine.
Franklin, you look good.
Well, I'm trying to get there.
I see, and I noticed this road here. There's nothing with hot sauce.
Okay.
No, and no pink feet either.
Now, do you still eat the hot sauce and pig feet?
No, that's off the menu now.
Off the menu.
Mm-hmm. I've been looking at a lot of pictures, and I said, you know, I'm tired of too fat for this. I'm getting close to my normal weight. I'm only a dress size away now.
Yeah.
I was doing everything you could do to lose that weight.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It is really hard.
It's hard when you really love
When
food.
when you love food and when you've done a high energy concert, you know, a carrot is not going to work.
I don't like this.
Sounds like we're wrapped up in bacon.
You can't continue eating things that
No.
will hurt you eventually.
Do you mind if I ask you how many?
She doesn't have lashes like this.
Yeah, I would say it
I'm
was
taking it
like,
off.
Good for you.
I'm gonna draw it. I'm gonna draw it.
Recently, there was a health scare. From what I heard, it started with you had a pain in your side.
Yes, that was my first inkling that something was not what it should be. The pain was so hard, though, it almost brought me to my knees. And then maybe a month or so after that, I was in Boston in concert, and then I got another pain in the side. So I said, the concerts are over. I have to go and find out what is wrong.
So you canceled your tour.
Yeah.
In December, we all found out that you were having abdominal surgery.
Is that what you have?
Excuse me, I can blow my nose because
Well, a lot of things to say. I've left that behind. I'm feeling wonderful. I'm feeling great. And I couldn't be feeling any better today. I'm glad you're well. Thank you.
I'm coming out of the picture for a second. Excuse me.
Wore that beautiful, legendary gray hat. That hat just really went down in history. What's the story? It really did. That hat really took on a life of its own. Yeah, it did.
Get sensitive.
It has its own site on the internet.
Is that hat in the Smithsonian like we read about?
No, unfortunately, and the date was set. We were to go to the Smithsonian, take the hat, have the ceremony, everything. And my doctor told me I wouldn't be leaving town, we will be going to the hospital. So we had to cancel the ceremony, but now we'll reschedule it and do the whole thing all over.
The hat presentation at the Smithsonian.
At the Smithsonian.
Who are your old friends? The women who've seen as much as you've seen
In the business,
Yes.
Shaka, Leon, Sissy, Houston.
Whitney Houston is your goddaughter, and you're her auntie. How did that relationship come about?
I met Whitney as a little girl. She couldn't have been any more than yay big.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, I would like to say I think you did a very good thing for Whitney. In speaking in the way that you did it. Yes, paid off.
How's she doing now?
She's doing very well.
I had to fake this one out.
And sometimes all it takes is just someone to say certain things. You know. Sure.
All right.
So anyway, enough of that.
Lashes over there.
Do you watch TV?
I love it.
If you watch my talk show, then I know you must be a lover of the housewives from some city.
From Atlanta, love them.
You love Atlanta?
Yeah.
Maybe.
She came to my Christmas party about a year or so ago.
Did she?
All right.
I'm
almost there.
It's something else, okay?
I will be watching the new season of Celebrity Apprentice. Are you going to be watching?
Oh, sure, of course. Didn't you just love to take the star dish? And she said, listen, Miss Star Jones, I will take you down.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. She also said she would spit on Star if Star was on fire.
Do you think that was real or what?
I do think it was real. I think that Donald Trump was looking for his Omarosa moment, and he's definitely got it. Do you watch Dancing with the Stars?
I do. Are you going on?
That's true.
You going on?
If I was on Dancing with the Stars, would you come and sing Rock Steady so I can dance live?
Sure.
You know how I dance? I'd be like, rock.
Step back.
Steady.
Really dope. She'll not dance.
However you want, I do it. Whatever song you want to sing.
Okay.
I love to dance. You dance?
All right. I don't dance a lot now, but I do more of a ballroom. It's called a Detroit ballroom.
Gotcha.
Yeah, very sensual and real down.
Trying, y'all,
Who's your dance
trying.
partner? Miss Franklin is a sexy, wanton woman who likes a lot of the same things we like. You've got to tune in tomorrow to hear about the Queen of Soul's love life.
I'm gonna draw these lashes.
So, thanks, audience. So, recently I traveled to Detroit, Michigan to have tea with the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. And yesterday I showed you part 1 of my exclusive interview. And today we continue with part 2. Take a look. Let's talk about the movie version of your life. We cannot let this project sit on the back burner any longer. You thought that Halle Berry would be great playing you, and Halle said something to the effect of, I can't sing, so I wouldn't be able to do Miss Franklin justice.
I knew she couldn't sing.
Yes.
I never expected her to, and she was my first choice, but not my only choice.
Yes. Do you still want Halle to play that role?
I would like a person who's going to play.
Drew the lashes in.
I understand. I think that Jennifer Hudson
I drew them, baby.
bang up job this year.
She has a good clear voice.
A good clear voice. Then how about Fantasia Barrino?
Could be Fantasia, could be Jennifer.
Queen Latifah?
You don't know. You don't know how that's going to turn out.
Well, I need this movie to get done, and then I want to play like
Would
a
you-
secretary or something.
Would you be interested in helping to finance it?
Oh, well, Miss Franklin, I'm only in the second season of my show.
Okay, check's not big enough yet.
She's funny.
Not long enough yet, but give me a moment.
Okay, all right.
She's
So how
funny.
did you feel about the big performance at the Grammys that the girls did for you?
I loved it. Loved the tribute. I was sitting in front of the TV when it came on with a cup of banana pudding. Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Aguilera was good. She was feeling it.
Yeah.
Right. She was feeling it. Jennifer was good. But I particularly liked what Yolanda did with Spirit in the Dog.
Fantasia got very upset that she wasn't in the tribute.
I didn't do the selection. She has to learn that you're not going to participate.
She
in
is
everything
truly
that
a
you
queen.
like
You hear me?
to participate in.
You're still a very beautiful woman.
Know what
you have
to
a
say.
sexy, sassy way about you. You know, would you like to get
All
married
right.
again?
Let me.
Of course, I love marriage. Love the institution.
You seem like the type of woman who still
Um,
falls and can get as stupid as the rest of us girls.
Do you think I'm gullible?
I think that you can be. Yeah. With the right man.
No. I'm not gullible.
She said she ain't pretty.
You get stupid. I'm not going to be stupid anymore.
One of the husbands that you had, Glenn Herman. Gorgeous.
Yeah, Glenn's a sharp guy.
Oh my gosh. Chocolatey, smooth.
And he's a beautiful man.
You still friendly with him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. We talk often.
Who's your dance partner?
Will.
Oh! Well, it's fine. Can I just say that?
Sure, Will is fine.
Yeah.
He is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Will is keeping it all in shape.
Respect.
They right.
RESPECT, 1967.
All right, y'all.
Became
Let me
an anthem for the
do
civil rights
these.
movement.
Yes, it did become their mantra. That's true.
What an honor.
It was a battle cry, yeah.
Yeah.
My sister Carolyn and I put that together. My younger sister Carolyn, who is passed now. We stood around the piano. There was a cliche in Detroit at the time. Sock it to me was the cliche.
Suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me.
Yes, exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Your mother passed away when you were 10,
Yes.
about that?
Yes.
And your dad was a very prominent minister here in Detroit?
Yes.
Did you grow up with a little privilege? A little, maybe more than black people had at that particular
No,
time?
we had food stamps too.
Oh.
We sure did.
Okay.
Back in the day, way back in the day, we had food stamps.
If you had to anoint a new Queen of Soul, of course you will always be the Queen of Soul.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing would ever take that away. But who's next?
Aretha.
Fair enough. None of these young girls can move
Aretha. Aretha.
So if you didn't become the Queen of Soul, what would you be doing to earn a living at this point?
I may have been a prima ballerina.
Oh, you dance.
Oh, sure, please. I can pas de bourrée, assemblée.
Huh?
Hey. Okay.
Or what else?
Or a executive secretary.
Where did that come from, Miss Franklin?
Well, it's just something that I felt I would have been excellent at
Yes.
and very good at.
Well, you know, if you were an executive assistant, this would have been you over the desk. Look, would you like your tea, boss?
That would have been you.
That would have
Really
been you.
wrong.
So tell me about your new CD.
My new CD, Aretha, A Woman Falling Out of Love, will be in Walmart the first week in May. It's a lot of good stuff.
There's no way I can come and meet the Queen without letting you sign.
Okay.
My
Oh boy.
1968
Wow.
Time magazine cover. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would actually meet you.
May I?
Yes, you
Here
may.
you go, Will. Let me put this in my...
You're keeping it? That's mine! Hey! Don't make me fight you, Aretha Franklin.
You were just knocked out.
What?
Don't play. Okay,
She said,
Franklin?
y'all heard that? She said you would get knocked out. She done knocked that child
This
out.
would be one of the most memorable conversations of my entire career.
I'll come back and we'll do another.
I would love that. Here comes Jose with the bill. If you don't excuse me, you invited me.
Do you mind washing dishes
Well,
with
you know,
me?
no, that's why they call it high tea, you know? Because the bill is going to be so high when you get it.
Yeah, that was good.
You know, she's a wealth of knowledge, and as you can see, she's incredibly sassy. We always knew she was talented, and now she's a new friend to our show. Aretha Franklin's going to be in town. She told me later on this month, and she's going to stop by and sit on the couch.
All right.
Chat.
Let me look at myself.
Plus, she's going out on concert tour and all that other. She's just doing so many wonderful things, and I'm just so glad we're in the fray, and I can continue to tell you about things that she's doing. You, by the way, can see, because we sat for tea for at least 2 hours. But we can only show you part of it, you know, with these part 1 and part 2. So now look, go to wendyshow.com and get the bonus footage from my chat. There's a whole lot going on wendyshow.com. Aretha Franklin has 2 exciting new releases. She's got a complete box set of her years with Columbia Records. It's called Take a Look. It hits stores March 22nd. And you can find her new album, Aretha, A Woman Falling Out of Love, in Walmart stores on May 3rd. I love you, Miss Franklin. Thank you, Detroit.
As a cardiologist, I regularly meet patients who don't recognize the first warning signs of heart failure. Many of the symptoms of heart failure can feel like a normal part of aging, making them easy to ignore. Be sure to consult with your doctors regularly to discuss any new or worsening symptoms you may experience.
Well, everybody surprised me here in Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, and Aretha Franklin. This was an idea months ago. I said, me and my executive producer, Debbie DeMay, was sitting down. She said, what do you want to do before that? I said, well, my ideal thing would be to have all of you here. But and I said, well, that'll never happen, because how could we get them all together? And I should have started planning it a year before. And I just wanted women to sing and dance, if you want to, who were over 40. And I said, well, we'll invite some guys, but, you know, it'd be a celebration of all of us who are getting better as we're getting older. So this is and then I just gave up on that idea and said, I'll just do a little quiet dinner thing, you know. That's what I thought I was doing till this party came. Well, we're going to talk about one of the things that I really want for myself is to get older and more graceful and to do it with wisdom and clarity. So you all could share with me.
Well, you know what I found that happens, and it was so wonderful for me. When I turned 40, honest to goodness, a light came on.
Really?
Am I right? I mean, a light came on and said, oh, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's where it is. That's what happened
You know,
to me.
I'm feeling that womanness thing so much.
Go, girl.
Yeah.
I got another couple of years. I don't know.
You got a couple of years. What's fascinating?
Let's see. This side don't want to work.
To me about it. Camille Cosby
This side is
to me a while
fine.
back. I said, what is the big deal about Florida? And she says, you just get to the point where you just don't care about everybody else's stuff or them being in your stuff.
That's
is that true?
Very true. That's very true.
That you feel your own confidence a lot more.
You have a sense of self like you've never had before.
What is that?
I just don't know. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what kind of man I wanted. I
got him too.
I believe that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the whole shot. You know, I just became a better person.
Yeah.
Not a different person.
So what would you say are the greatest lessons you've learned that you've been
Right.
taught getting to this point?
That I shouldn't be afraid to reach anything that God is going to give me, and that's another year. Most people are afraid of turning old because they think it's more wisdom. And I've learned that because of my sisters losing them at such an early age. And for me, I'm 50.
All right, I think I got to make some adjustments. I can't see it right now. My eyes are red.
I'm 49. You're 50. I'm 55, but I didn't want to tell nobody. I am actually 49.
But tell 49 because we the same age. So don't tell 50.
But I like to say 50 because it makes me feel grown really good. Like I'm special.
You're a big
You know,
girl
you're
now.
special at 50.
You are.
Yeah, you're special. I mean, it's nothing but wonderful things that come into your
That's
life.
true.
And you know, you relax. I'm relaxing more. I'm chilled out. I mean,
More
I
balanced.
am very balanced. My
Yeah.
husband can take me. You know, he does. I mean, I used to be a crazy lady. I'm really cooled out now.
Really?
With age comes calm and wisdom.
That's true.
And-
Did you?
No, I didn't have to.
Aretha said you didn't show him, did you?
What has it been? The greatest
No.
love? Just relax and go with the flow.
Oh,
It gets
I
better.
forgot to put
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, when you see a salmon
I
swimming
gotta make
upstream,
the
it's going
outfit.
the wrong direction is what I say.
That's
Try
what
to
you say.
try to get with the current. Try to move with the current of
Yeah,
life.
if that need to be built, it's going to be built on that.
Hey, yeah.
If you got some, it will be built up.
Yes.
Making it up.
Wow, what a pleasure. What a pleasure to have you two together. You've never done this before.
No.
Never done this before. Sat down together.
We sit together quite often.
Sat down together for an interview on national television. So tell me, how did you pump the question to the most beautiful woman in the world?
We're always looking for ways to live our best lives, especially on a daily basis. With me today is dietitian and health fitness specialist Rebecca Scritchfield, and we're discussing ways to sneak good for you habits into your daily routine.
Well, we are all thrilled tonight, of course, to be in the company of pop music royalty.
Such crappy.
Patronize Church Choir to worldwide superstardom. Along the way, created some of the most memorable songs of the past 40 years. It is a true
Crying.
pleasure to welcome the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin.
I couldn't find the right jacket, but this is the closest I could get to.
I tell you something, it is not every day you get Aretha Franklin on your show, and you're here. We wanted everything to go smoothly, and the biggest screw up in 9 years happens downstairs.
What was it? I didn't even know what was it.
You weren't even watching the show, were you?
What happened?
What show were you
Hi,
watching?
Jasmine.
I was doing my makeup. What happened?
We had a little blow up when I had to take off all my clothes and I got completely naked. You missed it.
So that's what I saw on the monitor, just a little bit of that. I was saying,
No, not a little bit of anything.
that. Well, no, I wasn't saying
Sorry.
that. Not by any means.
This is not going well.
Yes, it is. It's going better than you think.
Yes, it is. First of all, I want to start off by happy birthday.
Thank
Your
you.
birthday was when? 2 days ago?
Yes, 2 days ago. And
Happy birthday.
thank you very much. The big 4-0.
The big 4-0, huh?
4-0.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you have a nice party? Did you do anything fun?
Actually, I had a very quiet day.
Who is
I listened
my-
to a little Chopin and Maria Callas,
Hmm, there it
and
is.
I had a fitting at 6 o'clock. I had cake. The
Hey,
hotel gave me a
Zena.
beautiful cake up, and I said a very quiet.
That's nice. Some people like to be a little low key about it, not go.
and-
I like a lot of attention and a lot of. God, you're great.
Sometimes,
It never happens.
yeah, sometimes you like a party, but I just wanted to be quiet.
So today I'm reading about you, and a lot of the things I knew. What I did not know is you have 17 Grammys. 17 Grammys. That's just.
I thought you were going to say children. No.
17 Grammys. What do you do with 17 Grammys? Where do you keep them, first of all?
All right, let me hold this picture up before I
I think when you have like
fall
4,
apart.
5, or 1, you can keep in a cabinet. If you got 17, I'd have 5 in a cabinet. I'd be using the rest around the house for craft projects. Just smashing walnuts with them.
No. Oh, yeah, like seasonings. Sure. Boom.
Exactly, right.
Little Grammy seasoning. Boom.
Yeah.
Right. No.
You like to cook. You could use it as an
love
implement.
to cook. I love to
What do you like to cook?
Woo! Y'all.
You name
You like barbecue too. You cook a good
it. Love
barbecue.
barbecue.
Do you have like a
I
secret recipe or
apologize.
anything like that, or you just pretty much you're keeping that to yourself?
Crying all
No,
day.
you men are the ones that have secret recipes for barbecue sauce, right?
We just put beer in it.
All right, here we go.
That needs more beer and
They don't
vodka.
ever want to tell you what's in it.
Yeah.
But no, I just put mine in a little white vinegar
This
water just
here.
to make it tender. And it's falling off the bone.
once you take it off the grill and stuff.
Please make me some of that. I have such a weakness for
Okay.
barbecue. I just start crying like a baby.
I'll do it.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm going to your house sometime, ringing the doorbell and saying, "Where's my barbecue?" And security guards will take me away.
You're gonna get a FedEx box full of barbecue.
No. I sent you some pulled pork through the mail. That is not a good way to do it.
We some tickets through FedEx.
Oh, they did. You're like, I didn't open it for a couple of weeks, and then I got around to it.
It looks so strange. There's no face.
You know, you're in this very rare category where you're just all you have to do is say the first name. Aretha is here.
She smells.
I think only you and I are in this category.
Just a little bit.
There's only two of us left.
There's only two queens of soul left, and it is us. It's true. You just hear Aretha's here, and no one ever. Aretha's going to sing tonight. No one ever says which one. You know, Aretha McGillicuddy.
No. What's a family?
Aretha Rabinowitz.
It's a family name. It's a family name.
You are going to fly soon, for the first time in 20 years. And I want to ask you about this because I've read this about you. You do not like to fly. You don't fly.
Well, I have not.
Okay, y'all. How did I do?
1983. What
Jasper, hey.
Just a bad meal?
19 years.
19 years.
Yeah? No?
Just a prop plane, a small prop plane, 2 engines. Couldn't get anything else out of Atlanta, and
Very nice.
Therefore, big mistake.
And so it was kind of a rough flight. You thought,
Yes.
when I land, I'm never doing this again.
That's exactly what I did.
Now you're going to get on a plane. What's so important?
Right.
What's so important? Well, you don't get invitations to the palace every day. So,
You were invited to Buckingham Palace.
yes.
This is amazing.
Yes.
To perform
So-
for Queen Elizabeth. That's amazing.
It's on the occasion of her 50th anniversary
She's
and Golden
lucky.
Jubilee, and there will be 15,000 invited guests in the
Tears
in the garden
run
of
up.
the palace. That's kind of small garden.
Right.
And
Tears.
pyrotechnics, everything, and then a reception for the artists after.
Girl,
after the
I'm
performance.
gonna get off this.
That is such a thrill.
This is my tribute, my second tribute for
Okay,
Aretha.
if I say Northwest Airlines has worked with me, and
If I get paid some, sure.
And
how much?
Because I love Northwest Airlines.
I'm gonna take pictures, try to position my eyeballs
Seriously, they
and
are.
stuff
Northwest Airlines is going to help you. What are they going to do?
find the look.
Like classes
I
for me.
appreciate y'all
They
celebrating,
have simulations
honoring
set
her.
up for me in
Listen to more
Minneapolis.
details of her background,
Yes.
history, and people who knew her that paid tribute at her funeral. Those that I selected thus far. But we'll be doing another look
And it's a pill that you can get
again probably next
And I have one
Sunday.
friend that does it, and things could be falling out. She'll be
It
giggling
depends if I
away.
can find everything. So,
No pill.
anyway, please share. Thank you for tuning in.
And flight simulator.
Once
that's
again,
I suspect.
I'm crying. So, she is truly a queen
Well, you're on a jet.
It's just
of
making
soul
that step.
Yeah.
and more. Wow, you should
All right,
live
you
your
are-
life
you are coming back,
to the
to
fullest.
sing for us.
Yes.
So, this is a real. What are you going to sing?
So, anyway,
Freeway.
I'm going to go ahead and touch up my eyes because I'm crying. And take pictures, post it. Follow me. I love y'all.
I'm delighted.
And thank you, Jasper. Please share it. So I have like 7 looks I want to do of different stages
Say
of her
goodbye to
life.
summer and hello to savings at Gray & Scarf's tremendous Labor Day sale.
I'm
Get
crying
exclusive
today because I
double rebates
saw the
on
funeral.
select
I ain't
GE
finished
profile
looking at it.
packages. Plus, get free bonus appliances with select GE monogram
That's just
purchases.
me.
We're the #1 local and independent appliance retailer.
Thank you,
With factory
Jasper.
trained appliance
Appreciate you.
experts who are ready to
Appreciate
help.
everyone
Shop
that
online
tuned
now
in.
Or hurry into any
I
of
love
Gray &
y'all
Scarf's 13 locations.
for
Where it doesn't
looking.
cost more to get
Evangeline
more.
Bullet. Hey, good girlfriend. I can't. Now y'all see why I don't deal with funerals. I'm a crybaby. I'm a crybaby. Okay. So let's see.
Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, passed away in her home on August 16, 2018, at 76 years old after a quiet battle with pancreatic cancer. Franklin's music career spanned nearly 6 decades and set innumerable records. The first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Franklin sold more than 75 million records and was nominated for 44 Grammy Awards, taking home 18 of them. But her accomplishments don't stop there. At 52 years old, Franklin became the then youngest person to earn a Kennedy Center honor, and in 2005, President George W. Bush honored her with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Obviously, there are plenty of reasons to RESPECT Aretha Franklin, but here's what you may not know about the woman Rolling Stone praised as the greatest singer of all time. Ties to Martin Luther King Jr. Aretha Franklin's father, C.L. Franklin, was among the most famous preachers of his time, complete with recorded sermons and his own radio show. According to the New Yorker, Aretha was surrounded by music and film legends growing up, including Nat King Cole, Della Reese, Duke Ellington, Smokey Robinson, and Diana Ross. In addition to the era's greatest entertainers, C.L. was also close with one of the most famous and influential men of all time, Martin Luther King Jr. Aretha even went on tour with the father of the civil rights movement and sang at his funeral after his assassination. Trials and Tribulations. In Respect, a biography of Aretha Franklin by David Ritz, the author reveals that the singer got pregnant when she was just 12 years old. Not long after giving birth, Franklin became pregnant again, this time with a man named Edward Jordan, described only as a player in the book. Both children kept Franklin's last name and were raised in the Franklin family home. At age 19, Aretha Franklin married Ted White, a man with a highly controversial reputation who was reportedly abusive to the superstar songstress. In fact, Franklin's close friend Nick Bowen claimed that Franklin was so miserable with her marriage to White that she turned to food, cigarettes, and alcohol. Thankfully, the star reportedly